Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all my Wicked God Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for post-King's Court. With the release of the King's Court booster box, we were given reprints to all of the Wicked Gods, including the Wicked Avatar, the Wicked Dreadroot, and also the Wicked Eraser. All three of them residing from the Yu-Gi-Oh! R manga, a really awesome storyline that involves Pegasus' son taking revenge on Yugi using these evil god card counterparts. So I wanted to focus on a deck that can summon out all three of them, focusing on needing 3 tributes to summon out these cards. A really awesome play for all three of them, each one having different effects, and none that really need hand consistency like Slifer the Sky Dragon, or life points like Ra, or even just the monsters to tribute like Obelisk. You can have all of these cards on the field and benefit for just some pretty hard hit plays against your opponent. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the Wicked God monsters, I am running 3 of the Wicked Avatar. Now with these number ratios, you can change up however you want, depending on which one of the Wicked Gods is your favorite. It cannot be special summoned. It must be normal summoned or set by tribute summoning 3 monsters. If this card is normal summoned, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards until the end of this card's activation. This card's attack and defense are equal to the highest attack on the field, plus 100, except for the Wicked Avatar. So with this card, it's always going to be basically higher than any other card on the field when you summon it out. Then you can hit over any of those monsters that your opponent may have, and if they have a pretty high attack point monster on the field, this card basically just becomes that new boss monster on the field. That's why this card looks like the Winged Dragon Raw Sphere mode, because it then transforms into whatever the other strongest card on the field is, and takes that card's attack plus 100. I run 3 of it as my choice in the deck, but if you want to run 3 of any of the other cards, you could just mix around the numbers you want. For the other Wicked Gods, I run 2, the Wicked Dreadroot. Now, we run a good number of the level 10 monsters in the deck. That's why I am just ranging some of the numbers based on just my own preference. But with the Wicked Dreadroot, it cannot be special summoned. It must be normal summoned or set by tributing 3 monsters, and the attack and defense of all monsters on the field are halved. So it's all other monsters. So remember that. This card being 4,000 attack, this is the Obelisk, the Tormentor counterpart. This one basically just comes in, and if your opponent has any high attack point monsters on the field other than this card, it can basically hit over them because it'll half the attack of those monsters and hit for some pretty big numbers. And once again, I only run 2 of this card, but if you want to run 3 the Wicked Dreadroot, you can always just drop down the number of Wicked Avatars that you run and put in a 3rd copy of this card. The same can be said if you wanted to run 3 copies of the Wicked Eraser, which I am running 2 of. It cannot be special summoned. It must be normal summoned or set by tributing 3 monsters. This card's attack and defense are equal to the number of cards your opponent controls times 1,000, and during your main phase you can destroy this card, and if this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, destroy all cards on the field. Now this would be my 2nd potential card to put at 3, just being a good card along with the Wicked Avatar for the fact that it can destroy all cards on the field. The Wicked Dreadroot really just focuses on some heavy hit plays against your opponent's monsters, but this one can actually hit depending on the more resources your opponent has on the field, and also destroy all those cards. It's 1,000 attack for each one, but once again you're playing off of your opponent having a lot of those resources, so if you really only have 1 card, it's not that great of a Wicked God to summon out onto the field, and that's why I chose it 2 of instead of my 3 of Wicked God for the deck altogether. For some additional support, I was looking towards the Egyptian God structure deck, since they just gave us some new support that definitely do help with tribute summoning out monsters. So I run 3 Tellus the Little Angel. If this card is sent from the monsters onto the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Tellus Wing token onto the field. And also you can banish this card from your graveyard and 1 spell card from your hand to special summon 2 Tellus Wing tokens. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except from your hand. You can only use each effect of Tellus the Little Angel once per turn. So the special summon isn't that big of a problem, since you have to normal summon all of your Wicked God cards onto the field. So depending on which one you summon out, Tellus the Little Angel just helps with that special summon, giving you tokens that you can use for tribute fodder for those monsters from your hand. I also run 3 Angel 01. This one came out in the other Egyptian God deck. They're not too pricey though, so if you're looking just to pick these up for the Wicked God deck, then it could be quite affordable. If this card is special summoned, when you can special summon this card from your hand by revealing a level 7 or higher monster, which are all of the Wicked Gods we just spoke of already. handy. And also, you can only special summon Angel 01 once per turn this way, and while you control this special summon card, you can tribute summon one level 7 or higher monster in attack position during your main phase, in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. So that additional normal summoner set will definitely come in handy, because if you summon out these cards, you need that additional normal summon for these cards. They can't be special summon, they have to be tribute summon like you would an Egyptian God card. So using Angel 01 for the additional summon is a big plus, and why I run 3 of it in the deck, so you can rely on that extra summon onto the field that much more quickly. For more monster options on the field, once again, you just need to have the monsters on the field to tribute. So I also run 3 Scapegoats with Flip. You can special summon any number of Black Sheep tokens onto the field. So when you flip this card up and you get the 4 tokens on the field, as long as your opponent doesn't destroy all the other ones and you at least have 3 left, you can use those 3 to tribute out whichever of the Wicked Gods you have in your hand. And also for the tribute summon, you have the play then to rely on for those cards. And there's really no card in this deck that, focuses on the tribute being beneficial for having higher attack. So with these tributes, as long as you have the monsters to tribute, you can summon those cards out and then just fully benefit from what your opponent has on the field, which is the main point of all the Wicked Gods in the deck. Now, one other card I thought of just would be very, very useful for the tribute, and that is Egyptian God Slime. It must first either be fusion or special summon from your extra deck by tributing 1 level 10 Aqua monster with 0 attack, and this card can be treated as 1 or 3 tributes. So with this card in mind, I am also running 3 Guardian Slime, aside from the fact that this card needs to basically search out Winged Dragon Ra card. You use it more for just the protection that this card can provide, and then tribute it for a Egyptian God Slime fusion from your extra deck. Then that card will become the 3 tributes needed. And if you take battle or effect damage, it's just that easy to special summon this card out into the field and then use it to protect yourself against your opponent. But then, like I said, Egyptian God Slime can be used to tribute for any of the Wicked God cards you run from your main deck. For the rest of the monsters in the main deck, I also run 2 Arima, the Wicked Warden. Now, this is a discard card to search out Lair of Darkness, which just gives you more tribute options and draw power with Arima in the deck. So I like running 2 of this card just for the additional search of this field spell. It's an additional field spell along with one other one that I'm running for the spell lineup, which we'll get to in just a bit. But that is it for the monsters for the main deck. We'll now move on to the spells. Now, one of the spells we got from the Egyptian God structure deck, and that is Divine Evolution. It specifically calls for some of the Wicked God monsters. This card's activation and effect cannot be negated. Choose 1 monster you control whose original type is Divine Beast, or whose original name is the Wicked Avatar, Dreadroot, or the Eraser, except a monster already activated by Divine Evolution, and it gains 1,000 attack and defense. Its effects activated, and its activated effects cannot be negated. Also, it gains the following effect of when this card declares an attack, you can make your opponent send 1 monster they control to the graveyard of their choice. So this will boost up a good number of power plays you can use for putting the Wicked Dreadroot, I would say the best one this card can work for, at 5,000 attack. Wicked Avatar will be then even stronger than what it currently was with the 100 plus of the other monster. And the Wicked Racer, with the additional monster you can send with Divine Evolution, won't lose that minus. At least it won't originally, because it'll have still the 1,000 plus thanks to Divine Evolution on the field. I run 3 of this card, so you always have that plus option available to you for depending on what Wicked God you want to give it to. And I would just wish it was a quick play spell, because then you could use it more in, activation in the battle phase with your plays, but still being able to rely on it right when you summon the Egyptian God is a plus right then and there. I said the Egyptian God, but I meant to say the Wicked God. I was working on this deck so much trying to look for comparisons of the two that the name just kept popping up. For additional spell support, I also run 2 Mound the Bound Creator and also 2 of the Lair of Darkness field spell. Arima can search out Lair of Darkness, but I rely on the 1 Terraforming to search out Mound the Bound Creator. It just protects your monsters on the field. You can go back and forth between each of these spells, giving you the tribute option for Lair of Darkness, but mostly I like keeping Mound the Bound Creator on the field as an additional protection play for my level 10 Wicked God monsters. And once again, Terraforming can search out either of these 2 field spells. It just comes down to player preference which one I want to keep on the field. For additional draw power, I also run 2 Allure of Darkness. The majority of monsters that I run in the deck are Dark Attribute. So if I just need to draw into something more important, or even if I have a preferred Wicked God to draw into, I can at least banish the one and hopefully draw into the one that would better suit the play needed at that current time. For some of the other one-ofs for these spells, just 1 Foolish Burial. This card can help to set up Angel 01 or Tellus the Little Angel in the graveyard for either of their token or additional normal summon plays. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster for clear my opponent's back row, because if they negate the Wicked God God card summon, then it basically takes away the one play I was trying to go for in the deck. And lastly, the one Monster Reborn, just special summoning an additional monster on the field that could be used for the tribute. If I have Scapegoat and I get 2 tokens left on the field, that one more monster I summon onto the field using Monster Reborn could be all I need for my one Wicked God to enter the field. And then for the traps, I run 3 Metal Reflect Slime, along with being just another option to summon out Egyptian God Slime. I can also just give this card as a tribute option by setting it on the field, activating it against my opponent, and then tributing it next turn for one of the Wicked Gods, or even the Egyptian God Slime, and then using this card for the 3 tributes. And for additional special summoning power, along with Monster Reborn, just the 3 back to the front. Easy special summon, and I chose these over Call the Haunted since I have a lot of cards in the deck with lower attack, so just having this as the option to summon them in defense, even as a defensive play against my opponent, or just that one more monster needed, like Monster Reborn, to summon out my Wicked God on the field. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. Egyptian God Slime. Already spoke of this card's effect before. It's not really limited to just the Egyptian gods. It's more also just as another option for the 3 tributes and how easy it is to summon onto the field with cards like Metal Reflect Slime and Guardian Slime, and then just using it for the 3 tributes of my Wicked God monster. For the Link monsters, we're really just going for a pretty generic route. So 2 Wee Witch's Apprentice Dark Attribute and the Dark Boost for all my Wicked Gods that I could potentially summon out. 1 Underclock Taker, along with 1 Barricade Board Blocker for the field spell setup, 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Master King Archfiend, and 1 Akashic Magician, along with 1 Clara and Rushka, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Triple Burst Dragon, 1 Decode Talker, 1 Boral Sword Dragon, and 1 Borreload Dragon to finish off the extra deck. Like I said, it's very, very generic, but I like to have all the options available to me and what I can summon if I don't have the means to directly go into one of my Wicked God plays. And as for some of those plays, the biggest one is just the setup. You need to get those 3 tributes, which we've already discussed through the video, the Guardian Slime play. But if you just have the Scapegoat and you get your additional Scapegoat tokens on the field after this card is flipped up, as long as, like I said, your opponent just attacks into one of them and you have the 3 remaining cards, you can then tribute those tokens to summon out your Wicked God of choice onto the field. And the additional play setup definitely comes in when you have your Tell Us the Little Angel, giving you your additional token when it's sent to the graveyard, and for the banish of a spell and it from the graveyard, 2 more cards on the field, and once again will meet the requirements for you to tribute summon out one of your Wicked Gods onto the field. Depending on which one you wanted to play, I felt mixing all of them into one deck was definitely the way to go, just for consistency, to see them into your hand more. They don't have as easily as search card as a good number of the Egyptian gods, but all these tributes and different plays in the deck are your main means of focus for summoning out all these different monsters. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Definitely, like I said, enjoying the King's Court booster set. Looking to collect more of the set to open up on the channel, and also just for more cards to get for all the different deck profiles. But until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira, Twig out.